My awakened soul. Something shifted in the unseen last night, something that was not meant to happen quietly. The atmosphere around your life cracked open as Archangel Michael stepped into a battlefield that was never meant for human eyes. A war was fought on your behalf, not symbolic, not poetic, but real, fierce, and frightening to the darkness that tried to swallow what belongs to you. And now you are listening to this message because the spiritual world is trying to make sure you don't miss what was reopened for you. There is a door, a very specific door, connected to your wealth, your love life, your restoration, and your destiny. This door was once wide open. You may not remember the exact moment it began to shut, but heaven does. It started closing the day disappointment tried to break your voice. It tightened more when betrayal twisted your trust. It sealed heavier when fear whispered that you were unworthy of good things. And by the time you cried silently at night, believing your season was over, that door was already bolted with chains you never saw. But last night Archangel Michael drew his sword. The realm of darkness had been celebrating. They believed they had successfully locked away the opportunities meant for you. A financial door that would have changed your life. A relationship door that would have healed your heart. A restoration door that carried everything you lost and everything you were meant to recover. They thought they had hidden the key. They thought they had silenced your spirit. They thought you would never rise again. But heaven said no. Archangel Michael did not wait for sunrise. He moved when the world was quiet, when your mind was resting, when your body was unaware. Because some battles are won while you sleep, and some victories are delivered before you open your eyes. In the spirit realm, a loud clash took place. Swords, fire, angelic authority, and a violent push against the forces that refused to release what belongs to your life. You were not awake, but the war was about you. And today, your spirit is feeling something unusual, a stirring, a pressure, a sudden pull, a sense that something is shifting but you can't explain why. You may have even felt heavy when you woke up, or strangely emotional, or randomly hopeful without knowing the reason. That is because the door that was sealed shut for so long has been forced open again. But here is the part most people don't realize. When heaven reopens a door, the person must respond. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with attention. Because a reopened door has a time window. It does not remain open forever. And the enemy, even in defeat, tries one last time to distract you so you miss what was divinely restored. This message reached you at a supernatural moment. Not coincidence, not random, not by chance. You were pulled here, drawn here, guided here, because the realm of heaven wants to warn you. A door has reopened, but it can close again if you become spiritually numb, careless, or unaware. Archangel Michael is standing beside this door right now. He is not forcing you through it. Heaven never forces destiny. But he is calling you. His presence carries urgency today. You may even feel it, a weight in your chest, a vibration through your spirit, an awareness that this moment is not normal. And it isn't. Something about this season is different. The financial breakthrough you thought was impossible is trying to reach you again. The love you thought you lost forever is being redirected or restored. The peace you believed would never return is being breathed back into your atmosphere. The stolen parts of your identity are being revived one by one. And although darkness fought aggressively to keep these things hidden, Archangel Michael fought harder. You were not forgotten. You were not abandoned. You were not overlooked. Heaven placed your name at the center of an assignment. But now, the decision shifts to you. Will you lean in, or will the door close again? Will you respond to the prompting, or will you scroll away and miss the moment your future was trying to speak to you? You are hearing this warning because you are chosen. Chosen to rise. Chosen to rebuild. Chosen to step into what was stolen. And chosen to reclaim what heaven already declared yours. But the enemy is counting on one thing: that you will ignore this, treat it casually, or fail to see how serious this moment is. Don't let your miracle slip back into silence. And before this message continues, deeper pause. Feel this moment. You're meant to be here. Something sacred is unfolding. And trust me, what comes next will change how you see everything. Blessing ritual. Type "I step into the open door" in the comments if this is connecting with your spirit. Blessing code 1444 is now activated over you. Before you move forward, hold your breath for just a second. What you're about to hear next will shake something loose inside you. Beloved seeker of truth, there is something you must understand before the next shift unfolds in your life. When Archangel Michael fought that battle on your behalf, it was not only to reopen a door, it was to expose what had been secretly working against you for years. The spirit realm does not move randomly. Every delay you experienced, every sudden loss, every moment where things fell apart right when they were supposed to come together, all of it was connected to a strategic spiritual blockage set against your destiny. And last night, that blockade was broken in a way the enemy never anticipated. You may think your struggles were simply bad luck. You may think the missed opportunities were because you were unprepared or unqualified. But heaven saw the root. Heaven saw the spiritual interference that had wrapped itself around your blessings like invisible chains. There were entities assigned specifically to your progress, whispering discouragement at the perfect moment, dimming your confidence when you were closest to a breakthrough, sending the wrong people to drain your energy, and amplifying fear just enough to make you hesitate at the doorstep of something great. These were not ordinary obstacles. These were architected attacks. But here is the powerful truth. The enemy only attacks what heaven has approved, and heaven only allows warfare where glory is waiting. So understand this deeply. The intensity of your recent battles was not a sign of your weakness. It was evidence of what was coming toward you. Something big, something life-changing, something the forces of darkness desperately did not want you to access. And this is exactly why Archangel Michael stepped in. He did not come as a messenger this time. He came as a warrior. His presence in the spirit realm carries heat, fire, justice, and an authority that shakes the foundations of darkness. When he draws his sword, every spiritual structure built against you must either crumble or burn. Last night, the realm of opposition felt the weight of that sword. The doors that were slammed shut against your destiny trembled under the force of heaven's command. And now the realm is shifting in your favor, even if your natural eyes cannot yet see it. But there is more. The door that reopened for you is not just a door of wealth, love, and restoration. It is a door of alignment. This door brings people, moments, opportunities, resources, and divine timing into one synchronized pattern. You are entering a season where things will begin to make sense, where people who were never meant to stay will exit your life smoothly, where situations that were draining you will suddenly lose their power, where your heart will be strengthened to walk away from what once wounded you and walk toward what is designed for your elevation. Yet, there is a reason heaven is giving you this warning so early. A reopened door must be honored, or it can close again. Not because heaven wants to punish you, but because spiritual laws operate with precision. When a blessing window opens, your awareness must rise with it. Your decisions become more powerful. Your actions carry greater weight. Your responses either bring you closer to the doorway or pull you back into cycles you have outgrown. This is where Archangel Michael becomes more than just a warrior in your story. He becomes a guide. He becomes the one who stands between you and confusion. He becomes the one who nudges your spirit when distractions try to steal your focus. He becomes the one who whispers warnings when someone around you does not carry the right intentions. He becomes the one who shields your heart from sabotaging itself with old patterns. And right now, he is fighting not only enemies around you, but also the battles inside you: doubt, fear, hesitation, unworthiness, and the belief that good things are not for you. These inner battles have closed more doors than any enemy ever could. But heaven is breaking that internal resistance now. You may even feel it, the sudden urge to cleanse your atmosphere, the sudden desire to prepare your life for something bigger, the sudden rise of hope that you cannot fully explain. These are all signs that your spirit is awakening to the reality of your reopened door. But do not take this lightly. Every time a divine door opens, the enemy attempts a counteraction. You may notice strange fatigue. You may notice emotional heaviness. You may notice unnecessary arguments with people who normally understand you. You may notice old memories resurfacing, trying to make you believe you are not ready for the blessing coming toward you. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual diversions. They appear right when heaven is releasing something major. This is why you must stay spiritually alert in this moment. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit steady. Keep your awareness sharp. You are not just walking into a new season. You are crossing a threshold that was locked for years. And what awaits you on the other side is larger than what you've lost, stronger than what tried to break you, and richer than what you imagine. You are on sacred ground right now. And before the next revelation unfolds, breathe deeply. Let your spirit absorb this moment. Something extraordinary is preparing to step into your life, and you are closer to it than you realize. Hold on, because the next moment will unfold a truth you have never heard before. Blessing ritual. Type "I walk through the open door" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 2299 has now been released. Chosen vessel of awakening, there is something deeper that heaven is urging me to reveal to you now. When Archangel Michael reopened that door for you, it was not only a reversal of what was stolen, it was the beginning of a divine unveiling. A veil that once kept you blind to the true reason behind your delays has now been torn. For the first time in a long time, the realm of heaven is allowing you to see what had been hidden in the shadows of your life. You see, there is a pattern you have lived through without realizing it. Every time you approached a blessing, something strange happened. Someone grew jealous right when you started rising. A sudden setback appeared the moment hope began to grow. A misunderstanding erupted in the very relationships that were meant to support your destiny, where you found yourself losing motivation just when breakthrough was near. These cycles were not coincidences. They were the fingerprints of the very forces Archangel Michael faced last night. Heaven allowed this message to reach you today because the spiritual resistance assigned to your blessings has finally been exposed. What once hid behind confusion has been dragged into the open. Archangel Michael did not only fight to reopen the door, he fought to remove the entities that kept circling around your life, feeding off your energy, amplifying your fears, and blocking your divine alignment. When he swung his sword in the spirit realm, chains were not only broken, patterns were dismantled. This is why your spirit feels different today. Something is quieter inside you. Something is clearer. Something is rising again that you thought was gone forever. What you are feeling is the release of spiritual interference lifting off your atmosphere. But now heaven has a request for you, a gentle command wrapped in divine urgency. Listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is one of the most important truths tied to the door that has reopened. Every blessing, every miracle, every restoration heaven intends for your life must cross through a spiritual gate before it reaches your physical world. But that gate does not respond to wishful thinking. It does not respond to fear. It does not respond to doubt. It responds to alignment. And this is where Archangel Michael continues his assignment with you. He is trying to align your spirit with the open door so you do not repeat old cycles and accidentally walk away from what heaven is trying to release. Right now, you are in what angels call the sacred window. It is a short, intense, spiritually charged moment when destiny pushes itself into your path and the enemy tries desperately to pull you into distraction. This is why the past few days may have felt strange. You may have felt tired for no reason, or restless, or suddenly emotional, or unexpectedly hopeful. It is because your spirit is adjusting to the reopened door, and the enemy is attempting one final distraction before you step through it completely. Do not be alarmed if certain people start behaving strangely toward you. Do not be surprised if some connections begin to fade silently. When Archangel Michael wins a battle in the spirit realm, the ripple effect expresses itself in the physical world. Those who were never meant to walk with you into this next season will begin to reveal themselves. Heaven is clearing your path, even if it feels uncomfortable for a moment. But here is the beautiful part. As this clearing happens, something new is rising in you. A restored sense of identity, a sharper intuition, a deeper clarity about what you want and what you deserve. The door that has reopened is not just about giving you blessings. It is about returning you to yourself, the powerful, worthy, divinely guided version of you that life's battles had dimmed. And now that the gateway is open, heaven needs you to remain away. Do not slip into old patterns of self-doubt. Do not let fear speak louder than destiny. The enemy's last tactic is always hesitation. If he cannot close the door, he tries to convince you that you are not ready to walk through it. But Archangel Michael stands as your witness. You are ready. You are chosen. You are aligned. You are marked for restoration. And as this message continues, remember this. The next revelation carries the key to protecting your reopened door. What comes next will show you what to embrace and what to avoid in this sacred season. Hold steady, because the next release will shift your spiritual vision forever. Before you move forward, take one breath, one pause, one moment to settle your spirit, because the next unveiling carries a weight your soul has been waiting for. Blessing ritual. Type "I claim my divine alignment" in the comments if this message is touching your spirit. Blessing code 3111 is now active over your life. Now, before this moment closes, I want to speak to those who feel the weight of this revelation. If this message is opening your eyes, if it is confirming the unseen war fought for you, then let your voice rise in this mission. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe so this word reaches every soul whose divine door is reopening right now. Your engagement becomes a spark that carries this message into places where breakthrough is overdue. Just as Archangel Michael reopened the sealed door for you, this mission exists to reopen doors for thousands of others who are fighting silent spiritual battles. Every seed you release through Super Thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a prophetic act. A spiritual strike against the darkness that tries to silence God's messages. God says that when you sow into His light, He multiplies the harvest and sends it back into your own household. I am speaking this in the first person because heaven is stirring your heart right now. Step into the flow of what God is doing. The theme of this message is a door reopening, and your support becomes part of that supernatural activation. There is urgency in this moment, because heaven rewards obedience in the same hour it is given. To everyone who sows, I declare the blessing of open heavens, restored territory, and angelic protection. Move now, and let your giving become your declaration. Beloved one who is awakening to your divine moment, there is a stirring around your life right now that is not ordinary. It is the kind of spiritual movement that happens only when heaven decides a chapter must close forever, and a new one must be written in your name. What Archangel Michael did last night has already begun rearranging the unseen landscape around you. But before you step deeper into this season, there is a truth you must understand, a truth that explains why this door of wealth, love, and restoration was shut in the first place. You have walked through seasons where you felt blocked, delayed, overlooked, and forgot. You prayed, you hoped, you waited, and yet the progress you expected never came. It felt as though something invisible kept pushing your blessings out of reach. Sometimes it looked like other people were moving forward while you stood still. Other times it felt like you were right on the edge of breakthrough, only for circumstances to fall apart in a sudden, heartbreaking way. These were not random experiences. These were not simply bad phases or bad timing. They were the result of forces assigned to hinder the very destiny heaven wrote for you. Archangel Michael revealed this last night, that there were spiritual structures built specifically to keep your blessings at a distance. These structures were not physical, but their effects were very real. They operated like invisible walls, surrounding your opportunities with confusion, redirecting your relationships, draining your resources, and clouding your clarity. They fed on your exhaustion. They fed on your doubt. And when you felt weakest, they tried to make you believe that you were the problem. But heaven never agreed with that lie. And this is why last night's battle was so intense. Archangel Michael did not fight small shadows or minor forces. He confronted the root, the core of what had been resisting you for years. He went directly to the stronghold that sealed your door. And the moment his sword struck the foundation of that resistance, the spiritual atmosphere around your life cracked open. This is why many people who are listening to this message right now feel a strange shift inside them. A heaviness lifted, a pressure eased, a sense of possibility returned. Your spirit is beginning to breathe again, not because your environment changed yet, but because the spiritual block has been removed. What was locked away from you is now attempting to return to you with divine force. But you must hear this with a discerning spirit. Although the door is open, the transition will feel unfamiliar. When God restores what was stolen, He rarely returns it in the same form. What is coming to you now will arrive differently from what you expected. The wealth entering your life will not come through the same channels you once depended on. The love approaching you will not resemble the patterns you allowed in the past. The restoration being released will not be a repeat of your former season. It will be a higher expression of who you have become. Archangel Michael is not just reopening the door, he is repositioning your life. And repositioning often begins with a shaking. You may notice people who once felt close suddenly feel distant. You may notice that your spirit is pulling you away from old habits, old environments, old conversations. This distancing is not emotional. It is spiritual. When heaven calls you higher, the frequencies of your life begin to shift. Anything that does not match the new level is naturally pushed away. Do not cling to what God is removing. Do not fear what God is changing. Do not resist the endings that feel sudden. For every ending right now is connected to a beginning you cannot yet see. Archangel Michael is clearing the path because the blessing that is coming toward you carries weight. It carries favor. It carries acceleration. It carries visibility. And the enemy knows that if you step into this next season fully aligned, you will not only rise, you will shine. But heaven does not want you to rise blindly. That is why this message has reached you in this precise hour. You are being prepared for something bigger than your previous struggles, bigger than your fears, bigger than the wounds that shaped your past. You are being invited into a chapter where the door is not only open, but guarded. And the guardian is not a man. It is not a circumstance. It is Archangel Michael himself. His presence around your life in this season is a sign that heaven is invested in your breakthrough. It is a sign that what is coming to you cannot be interfered with the way it was before. It is a sign that this time, this moment, this door is protected by divine authority. But preparation is required. You must stay aware. You must stay spiritually awake. You must remain connected to the signals heaven is sending, because in this sacred window, a single decision can shift your trajectory. And now, as we go deeper, the next revelation will uncover something crucial, something that will determine how you move through this open door and what you must guard yourself against in the coming days. Stay with this message, because what comes next will anchor you for the blessings already on their way. Blessing ritual. Type "I embrace my divine shift" in the comments if this is awakening something inside you. Blessing code 5577 is now released. Hold your spirit steady for a moment. The next revelation will take you even deeper. Dearest one standing on the edge of breakthrough, there is a weight in the atmosphere right now. A holy weight, because heaven is preparing you to understand a mystery that very few ever discern in a lifetime. When Archangel Michael fought for you last night, he did not fight simply to give you access. He fought to protect you from the very thing that previously sabotaged your destiny. Before you step fully into this open door of wealth, love, and restoration, heaven needs you to understand the spiritual principle that determines whether you will keep what is coming. Every blessing heaven releases enters your life through 3 stages: revelation, alignment, and embodiment. Revelation is when heaven shows you what is available. Alignment is when your spirit adjusts to receive it. Embodiment is when that blessing becomes part of your lived reality. Many people receive revelation, some step into alignment, but very few reach embodiment. Why? Because the moment you get close to embodiment, the enemy reintroduces an old pattern to block your manifestation. This is why your past blessings felt temporary. This is why progress suddenly reversed. This is why you saw glimpses of greatness, but could not hold it long enough to transform your life. Archangel Michael revealed the root of this last night. You were fighting a recurring spiritual cycle without knowing it. A cycle designed to interrupt your alignment every time you reached the door of embodiment. But this time heaven is not only reopening the door, it is teaching you how to walk through it without losing what you gain. Listen closely. The enemy does not fear your progress. He fears your permanence. He does not fear your breakthrough. He fears your stability. He does not fear your blessing. He fears your embodiment. Because once you embody a blessing, it no longer requires constant warfare. It becomes part of your identity. It becomes your new normal. It becomes untouchable. So when Archangel Michael fought last night, he targeted the forces that made temporary what heaven intended to make permanent. He dismantled the spiritual resistance that repeatedly sent you back to square one. He struck the very patterns that made you feel like life kept resetting the moment you reached a new level. And now, because of that battle, you are stepping into a season where what was once fragile will now become firm. What was once unstable will now become rooted. What was once delayed will now accelerate. What was once stolen will now return with increase. But do not miss this next truth. It is one of the most important revelations connected to your open door. The atmosphere of your life must match what heaven is sending you. Energy is spiritual. Emotion is spiritual. Conversation is spiritual. Intention is spiritual. You cannot step into a restored door with the weight of old patterns tied to your ankles. This is why some people are falling away from you. You may not understand why certain relationships feel distant, or why certain connections suddenly feel heavy, or why you no longer resonate with environments that once felt natural. This is not random. This is divine separation. Heaven is removing everything that cannot survive the frequency of your next season. You may feel uncomfortable. You may feel lonely at moments. You may feel confused about why things are shifting so quickly. But remember this. Before God elevates a person, He isolates them long enough to reset their perspective. And before an angel opens a door, He clears the path around it. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your blessing, he is restructuring the spiritual environment that surrounds you. He is burning away old attachments, old energies, old distractions, old fears. You may not see the fire, but your spirit feels it. The cleansing is already happening. There is a reason your heart is becoming more sensitive. There is a reason your intuition is sharpening. There is a reason you are suddenly seeing through people more clearly than before. Heaven is adjusting your spiritual vision, so you can navigate this open door without walking into old traps. But here is the next mystery you must understand. When a door reopens, the enemy's final tactic is to send a counterfeit blessing. Something that looks like the promise, feels like the promise, sounds like the promise, but does not carry the hand of God. This counterfeit appears right before the real blessing arrives, trying to lure you into a decision that pulls you out of alignment. You must be discerning. You must be still. You must watch with spiritual eyes. The blessing heaven sends will not drain you, confuse you, or rush you. It will bring clarity, peace, and confirmation. It will align with your spirit, not fight against it. In this sacred moment, trust the guidance of Archangel Michael. He is not only clearing the path, he is warning your spirit when something does not belong. And if you stay close to this discernment, you will walk through your open door with strength, authority, and unshakable clarity. What comes next will reveal the sign, the unmistakable sign, that your blessing is near. Stay with this message, because the next revelation will show you exactly how to recognize what heaven is sending. Blessing ritual. Type "I protect my open door" in the comments if this message is resonating within your spirit. Blessing code 8844 is now released. Take a breath and stay present. The next light is about to break through. Beloved one who is stepping into divine awareness, there is a powerful stirring in your spirit right now because heaven is preparing you for recognition. The supernatural ability to see what is meant for you and what is meant to distract you. When Archangel Michael fought in the spirit realm last night, he was not only breaking the barriers around your blessing, he was activating a new level of spiritual sensitivity within you. This sensitivity will become the very tool that guides you through the open door that heaven has placed before you. You must understand something crucial. Every divine blessing arrives with a sign. Heaven never releases a breakthrough without giving your spirit a signal that the moment has come. These signals are subtle, but they are unmistakable once your awareness becomes aligned with the realm of truth. And that is exactly where you are at this moment. A point of alignment where your spiritual eyes are preparing to see what they once missed. For so long, your blessings approached you quietly, but your discernment was clouded. The noise of past pain, disappointment, and emotional weight blurred your ability to recognize the divine movements around you. You walked past opportunities that were meant to bless you. You misunderstood people who were sent to help you. You hesitated at doors that heaven opened because your heart could not distinguish between danger and destiny. But that season is over. When Archangel Michael drew his sword last night, the first thing he struck was the veil, the thick, suffocating fog that kept you spiritually disoriented. That fog was not emotional confusion. It was spiritual interference. It made you doubt the right people. It made you trust the wrong ones. It made you question your worth at the exact moment heaven was trying to elevate you. It made you fear movement, even when movement was the only way forward. Now that the veil is torn, your spirit is beginning to sense things in a new way. You may find yourself suddenly feeling alert around certain people, even if they seem friendly. You may notice a pull toward certain opportunities, even if they appear small. You may feel a quiet stirring in your chest when something aligned with your purpose enters your path. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual sensitivity awakening. And with this awakening comes a powerful revelation. Heaven will not let your blessing appear disguised. The sign is already forming. It may be emotional, physical, or even situational, but it will announce itself with clarity so you cannot mistake it. For some, the sign will come as a sudden shift in your environment, an unexpected opportunity, a conversation that feels divine, a restoration that feels impossible. For others, the sign will be internal, a sense of peace you cannot explain, a strong conviction that something new is approaching, a burst of clarity that dissolves confusion instantly. But there is something else you need to understand. Before the real blessing appears, the counterfeit will try to reveal itself first. This is a final attempt of darkness to pull you out of the alignment Archangel Michael fought to restore. The counterfeit often comes wrapped in urgency. It feels rushed, unclear, emotionally draining, or inconsistent. It may look like a shortcut, but it carries no peace. You will feel it. Your spirit will tighten. You will sense something off even if you cannot explain it. Do not ignore that feeling. That is your new spiritual discernment rising. The blessing heaven sends will not require you to sacrifice your peace, your dignity, or your self-respect. It will not confuse you. It will not demand that you lower your standards. It will not come with chaos. It will confirm itself through clarity, consistency, and alignment. But here is the deeper mystery. The sign of your real blessing is already near, because the spiritual battle that delayed it has finally ended. This is why the realm around you suddenly feels softer, lighter, and more open. This is why your thoughts feel clearer. This is why your dreams may feel more vivid. This is why your emotions feel as though they are being reset. Heaven is preparing you to receive without resistance. Archangel Michael is still present in your atmosphere right now, not fighting, but guarding. His presence is evidence that heaven is not only giving you a door, it is giving you protection as you walk through it. He is ensuring that nothing pulls you backward. He is ensuring that your discernment sharpens. He is ensuring that your spirit recognizes the sign when it appears. You are closer to manifestation than you have ever been. Closer than your mind realizes. Closer than fatigue may have allowed you to believe. The sign of your breakthrough is not far away. It is approaching with momentum. Heaven is aligning people, opportunities, resources, and unexpected pathways to bring you into embodiment. But listen carefully now. The next revelation that will be spoken is the key to maintaining what is coming. It will show you how to guard your spirit, how to protect your energy, and how to ensure that no force, internal or external, pulls you away from this open door. Stay present. Your spirit is about to receive clarity like never before. Blessing ritual. Type ISE with divine clarity in the comments if this message is awakening your spirit. Blessing code 9921 is now released over your life. Before you let your mind wander, hold your heart steady. The next revelation will lift the final veil. Precious one standing at the threshold of transformation, there is a quiet hush in the spirit right now, because what I am about to reveal carries weight. It carries the kind of wisdom that can protect an entire destiny. When Archangel Michael fought for you last night, he did more than reopen a door. He activated a season where you must learn to guard what is coming. For the truth is this: receiving a blessing is one thing, but keeping a blessing requires spiritual mastery. You have entered a moment where heaven is trusting you with restoration, wealth, love, peace, and elevation. These are not small gifts. These are soul-shaping, life-altering, generational blessings. And because the door is open, your environment will shift. Your thoughts will shift. Your connections will shift. But with every shift comes responsibility. You must now become the guardian of your own spiritual atmosphere. Heaven wants you to understand a profound truth. The enemy cannot reclaim a door that Archangel Michael has reopened, but he can influence your emotions, your impulses, and your reactions to make you walk away from the door yourself. That is why spiritual awareness in this season is not optional. It is essential. You must protect what you feel. You must guard what you allow into your mind. You must be mindful of what you speak. For your words are seeds, your emotions are gateways, your thoughts are builders, and your decisions are doorways. Everything you do in this season carries spiritual weight. Why? Because you are in alignment. You are spiritually charged. You are hovering in the atmosphere of breakthrough. And when you are in that atmosphere, your choices create immediate effects. This is why heaven is preparing you right now. Not to scare you, not to restrict you, but to preserve the blessing heading toward you. The first area heaven needs you to guard is your energy. You will notice that certain conversations feel heavy now. Certain people feel draining. Certain environments feel off. This is not your imagination. This is your heightened discernment detecting what is spiritually misaligned with your new path. Do not ignore these signals. They are warnings sent by Archangel Michael himself. Anything that disturbs your peace in this season is not meant to follow you through the open door. The second area you must guard is your focus. The enemy's most common tactic after a spiritual victory is distraction. Not every battle is loud. Some battles arrive in the form of unnecessary arguments, sudden emotional turmoil, overthinking, unexpected temptations, or a wave of nostalgia that pulls you toward an old version of yourself. These things are not random. They are attempts to shift your attention away from what heaven is releasing. But your spirit must remain steady, stable, focused, unmoved. The third area you must protect is your heart. The blessing coming toward you involves love, connection, and restoration. But to receive this blessing fully, your heart cannot remain bruised by yesterday. The wounds of the past do not disqualify you, but they can interfere with your ability to trust again, to believe again, to love again. Archangel Michael is healing these wounds now. If you have felt emotional releases lately, moments of sudden tears, unexpected memories rising to the surface, or a powerful desire to let go, it is because heaven is cleansing the heart that will hold your blessing. The fourth area you must guard is your spiritual posture. Your elevation requires consistency, not perfection. Spend even a few minutes each day in stillness, prayer, reflection, or spiritual grounding. This is not about ritual. It is about alignment. When your spirit remains aligned, your door cannot close. When your spirit remains aligned, your blessing cannot be redirected. When your spirit remains aligned, heaven can deliver what was promised without interference. And now listen closely, because what I am about to reveal is one of the most important mysteries of this season. When the door opens, the enemy sends not only counterfeits, but spiritual mirrors, versions of your past designed to make you repeat what once broke you. These mirrors come through people, opportunities, or internal fears. They appear familiar, almost comforting, but they are only reflections of who you used to be, not who you are becoming. Do not step back into a life you have outgrown. Do not answer calls from seasons heaven ended. Do not reopen chapters that once wounded your spirit. Your blessing is not behind you. It is in front of you. And Archangel Michael is standing beside you, ensuring that nothing from your past has the power to follow you into this new realm. You have already won a battle you did not see. Now you must live like someone who has been fought for. Someone who has been chosen. Someone who is being guided. You are not fragile anymore. You are not confused anymore. You are not wandering anymore. You are stepping into embodiment. But the next revelation will show you how heaven is about to place a mark, an unmistakable sign, on your life that confirms the blessing is near. Stay with this message, because what comes next will shift your spiritual confidence permanently. Blessing ritual. Type "I guard my blessing" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this truth. Blessing code 6655 is now active over your atmosphere. Hold your heart steady for a moment. The next unfolding will be even deeper. Beloved guardian of a rising destiny, there is a holy stillness resting over this moment, because what I am about to reveal marks a turning point in your journey. When Archangel Michael fought for you last night, he did not only reopen a sealed door, he placed a divine mark upon your life. This mark is not visible to the physical eye, but in the spirit realm it shines like a flame. It announces that you are entering a protected season. It signals that interference has been dismantled. And it declares that what heaven has assigned to you can no longer be stolen, delayed, or manipulated by any opposing force. You may not realize it yet, but this mark is already influencing your atmosphere. It is the reason you feel a strange sense of separation from old cycles. It is the reason you no longer carry the same heaviness that once clung to you like a shadow. It is the reason your spirit feels both lighter and sharper. Heaven has done something irreversible. The door that was shut against your wealth, your love, your restoration, and your identity has reopened, and now it is sealed with angelic authority. But here is the deeper mystery. This divine mark not only identifies you as protected, it identifies you as chosen. And when heaven marks a person, their blessings begin to move toward them with accelerated speed. This is why your spirit is feeling stirred, why your dreams feel more vivid, why your intuition is loud, and why you sense that something life-changing is approaching. You are not imagining these signals. You are responding to the vibration of the blessing that is drawing near. Archangel Michael is standing beside your open door, but he is doing more than guarding it. He is ushering things into alignment. In the spirit realm, angels do not simply defend. They also orchestrate. They shift circumstances. They redirect people. They unlock opportunities. And in your life, right now, there is a quiet orchestration taking place. Conversations are being arranged. Relationships are being positioned. Resources are being released. Answers are being prepared. All to ensure that what was meant for you finally reaches you without obstruction. But heaven wants you to understand something very important. Something that will shape how you receive this next wave of blessing. The mark on your life will attract two things: divine favor and spiritual jealousy. The moment your elevation becomes visible, those who are spiritually unaligned may react to the light resting upon you. Some will be drawn to you because they recognize your rising. Others will distance themselves or behave strangely because your transformation exposes their stagnation. Do not misinterpret this. It is not personal. When heaven elevates you, it shifts the spiritual frequency of your life. People who no longer match that frequency will naturally fall away. This is protection, not loss. Archangel Michael is not allowing anyone with hidden intentions to cross through this next door with you. He is ensuring that only those aligned with your destiny remain close. This is why you must pay attention to the subtle movements around you. The sudden peace you feel around certain individuals is not random. The sudden headiness around others is not random. The opportunities that stick to your spirit are not random. The invitations that feel wrong, even if they look good, are not random. Everything is signaling your next direction. But now we must speak about one of the most powerful aspects of this divine mark. It becomes a magnet. It attracts what heaven ordained for your life. It draws in the blessing that was once blocked. It pulls favor toward you in ways you will not fully understand. You are entering a season where doors will open without explanation, where opportunities will find you without effort, where resources will flow in unexpected ways, and where the right people will appear at the right time. This is what happens when Archangel Michael fights for your name. Yet heaven does not want you to walk blindly through this season. The mark is powerful, but your awareness keeps it activated. Stay alert. Stay aligned. Stay spiritually grounded. For as the blessing approaches, the final counterattack may attempt to rise, not to defeat you, but to distract you. A moment of doubt, a whisper of fear, a sudden wave of old emotion. These are not signs of failure. They are the remnants of a cycle that has already ended. The key is this: do not attach yourself to old emotions. Do not re-enter patterns that heaven has closed. Do not entertain conversations that drain your spirit. You have been marked for forward movement, not backward entanglement. And now listen carefully, because the next revelation will be one of the most important you hear in this entire message. Heaven is about to reveal the exact moment your blessing begins to manifest in the physical realm. A timestamp, a signpost, a shift that your spirit will instantly recognize. Stay with this message, because this next unveiling will remove every last trace of uncertainty from your heart. Blessing ritual. Type "I am marked for divine favor" in the comments if this message is speaking life into you. Blessing code 4400 has now been opened over your path. Before you move into the next unveiling, rise with me for a moment. Let your voice be seen in this mission. Like this message, share it, comment boldly, and make sure you subscribe so heaven's word reaches every soul whose door is reopening right now. Your engagement becomes a spiritual echo that lifts this message into places where breakthroughs are overdue. Just as the mark of heaven has been placed upon your life, this mission exists to mark others with the same light of hope, truth, and deliverance. Every act of support, whether through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description, becomes a spiritual seed that heaven multiplies. God speaks through this moment in the first person when you sow into a message that lifts souls. I lift your household. This theme of divine marking aligns perfectly with your giving, for your seed becomes a prophetic declaration that you stand with the work heaven is doing here. Do not wait, for obedience carries its highest blessing when it is immediate. To every hand that gives, I release the blessing of divine covering, accelerated favor, and angelic intervention. Step boldly and let your support rise like a holy offering. Beloved one standing in the glow of a rising destiny, there is a shift happening even now as you listen, a quiet but powerful movement in the unseen. The atmosphere around you feels different because heaven is preparing to reveal the moment your blessing begins its physical manifestation. Until now, everything you have sensed has been spiritual: the battle, the awakening, the cleansing, the alignment, the marking. But now you are entering the realm of evidence. The invisible will begin to take form. What was only felt will become tangible. What was only whispered will now be seen. Archangel Michael stands guard not only at the door, but at the timeline of your destiny. Angels do not merely fight. They also synchronize heaven's events with the moments of your life. They ensure that divine timing meets divine readiness. And now that your spirit is aligned, your discernment sharpened, and your path cleared, the next stage is beginning: manifestation. Before it becomes visible, heaven always releases a precursor, a spiritual tremor, a shift in vibration, a change in atmosphere. This precursor is the sign that the blessing you have waited for is leaving the spiritual realm and approaching the physical world. Some people miss it because they mistake it for emotional turbulence or random change. But you will not miss it because heaven has prepared you to recognize it. The precursor manifests in 3 ways, and you may feel one or all 3. The first sign is internal pressure. Not stress, not fear, but a subtle intensity in your spirit. You may feel restless for no reason. You may feel like something is about to happen, but cannot explain what. This restlessness is not a warning. It is a spiritual contraction. Just as a woman feels pressure right before birth, the spirit feels pressure right before breakthrough. The second sign is environmental disruption. Plans may shift suddenly. People may behave differently. Something unexpected may occur. Do not be alarmed. Heaven is rearranging the physical realm to create space for your blessing. When heaven wants to position you correctly, it disrupts anything that would interfere with the arrival of what is meant for you. What feels like inconvenience is often divine orchestration. The third sign is spiritual acceleration. Time begins to feel faster. Events unfold quickly. Opportunities appear back to back. Conversations align effortlessly. The sense of delay disappears. When acceleration begins, it is heaven announcing, now. This is the moment where the spiritual becomes physical, where what you have been sensing begins to take form. And now here is the revelation heaven has been building toward. Your precursor will begin within days, not months. The blessing is no longer distant. It is approaching with urgency, because the spiritual war has already been won. The resistance has been dismantled. The door is open, and the mark placed on your life has created a spiritual pull that draws your blessing toward you. But here is the part you must understand with clarity. The moment manifestation begins, the final disturbance may try to rise. Not to block you. It cannot block what heaven has already sealed, but to distract you during the moment your blessing arrives. This disturbance may appear as emotional noise, an unexpected memory, a sudden insecurity, or an old thought pattern resurfacing. Do not entertain it. It is simply the shadow of a cycle that no longer has power over you. You must remain anchored, steady, grounded, unshakable, because the blessing coming toward you is not small. It is not symbolic. It is not partial. It is full. It is complete. It is the restoration of what was taken, multiplied. It is the return of opportunities that were delayed, amplified. It is the healing of what was broken, perfected. It is the door of wealth, love, and restoration not just reopened, but redefined. And now listen carefully, because heaven wants to reveal something deeper. The blessing will come with confirmation. You will know it is from God, because it will align with these truths. It will resonate with your spirit. It will not confuse you. It will not drain you. It will carry ease, clarity, and divine timing. It will feel like something your soul recognizes, even if your mind cannot explain it. Archangel Michael will confirm it through peace. Your spirit will confirm it through resonance. Heaven will confirm it through alignment. There is no more guesswork. You will not have to wonder, is this my blessing? You will know. The door that was shut against you has reopened permanently. The forces that once stood against you have been silenced. The patterns that once derailed you have been destroyed. You are stepping into a season where heaven is fulfilling what was promised, where destiny is catching up to your obedience, where restoration is meeting you with force. You have carried the weight of long seasons. You have walked through dry places. You have survived storms that should have shattered you. But now you are rising into what your spirit has always known you were meant for. And the next revelation will show you exactly how to prepare yourself emotionally and spiritually so that when the blessing physically arrives, you step into it with full authority. Stay with this unfolding, because the next truth will illuminate the final steps of your divine transition. Blessing ritual. Type "I welcome my manifestation" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this moment. Blessing code 7774 has been released over you. Hold your spirit steady. What is coming next will prepare you for the moment your life turns. Beloved soul, preparing for your divine turning point. The atmosphere around your life is thick with purpose right now. You can almost feel it. The tension, the softness, the electricity of something holy drawing near. That is not imagination. That is not wishful thinking. That is the reality of a blessing shifting from the spiritual realm into the physical one. And before it fully arrives, heaven needs you to understand how to prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit so you can receive without hesitation and hold without fear. When Archangel Michael fought for you last night, he did not simply remove opposition. He made space. Space in the realm of your emotions. Space in the realm of your relationships. Space in the realm of your identity. But now, as manifestation approaches, heaven is focusing on one final area, your inner readiness. For the truth is this: what is coming toward you is not only large, it is different from anything you have carried before. And difference requires preparation. You may have noticed subtle emotional shifts recently. You may feel quieter inside. You may feel reflective, thoughtful, or unexpectedly sensitive. These emotions are not random. They are signs of spiritual detox. Heaven is removing emotional residue from old seasons, so you do not carry yesterday's wounds into tomorrow's blessing. Because a new blessing requires a new emotional container. This detox can manifest in various ways. Some people feel a sudden release, crying unexpectedly, feeling memories surface, confronting old disappointments. Others feel a deep calm, a sense of closure, and inner quietness that almost feels supernatural. And some feel tension, the emotional stretching that happens before a spiritual expansion. None of this is accidental. You are shedding what was never meant to enter your new season. Archangel Michael is overseeing this internal shift with precision. He is not only guiding the external battles, he is helping you let go of internal weights you did not even realize you were still carrying. Because if those weights remain, they can distort how you see your blessing once it arrives. Heaven will not allow that. Not this time. You must understand something powerful. Blessings can be lost when the heart is still shaped by past pain. A heart wounded by betrayal misreads new love. A heart shaped by scarcity resists wealth. A heart overshadowed by disappointment hesitates, even in the presence of answered prayers. Heaven is healing these fractures now, so that nothing inside you subtracts from what God is trying to add to you. So take this moment seriously. Do not rush this inner shift. When emotions rise, allow them to pass through you instead of holding them tightly. When clarity comes, honor it. When peace rests upon you, do not question it. When something inside you says, "It's time to let this go," trust that. Heaven is reorganizing the inside of you so the outside can transform. But there is more, something deeper you must understand. As you prepare internally, heaven is preparing your external environment. This is why things may feel unstable around you. Something you were depending on may suddenly shift. Someone you trusted may act unpredictably. A door you thought would open may suddenly close. These movements are not punishment. They are pruning. Heaven trims what cannot travel with you into the next dimension of your destiny. And here is a mystery few ever discern. When a blessing is close, life often feels contradictory. You may feel excitement and heaviness, clarity and uncertainty, stillness and movement all at once. This duality is not chaos. It is transition. It is the merging of two seasons, the closing of the old and the rising of the new. Your spirit knows what is coming even before your mind fully understands it. Archangel Michael is working in this transition. He is aligning timelines, shifting energies, and sealing old wounds. You may feel him subtly, a sense of protection, a sudden calm, a strong intuition, an inner push towards certain decisions. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's final preparations. But now heaven wants you to focus on this essential truth. The blessing coming to you must be received with confidence, not fear. This is where many stumble. When the blessing finally arrives, they freeze. They question themselves. They doubt. They worry about losing it. They struggle to believe they are worthy of something good. These internal conflicts can interfere with the manifestation that heaven worked so hard to release. So hear this and absorb it deeply. You are worthy of what is coming. You are ready for what is coming. You are equipped for what is coming. You are chosen for what is coming. You are not stepping into this blessing alone. Archangel Michael is not leaving your side. He is not walking away now that the door is open. He will remain until the blessing is established in your life, until it is rooted, until it is unshakable. And here is the revelation heaven has been preparing you to hear. Your blessing is not coming to test you. It is coming to transform you. It is meant to reshape your life, your identity, your confidence, and your sense of purpose. It is meant to restore years that were stolen. It is meant to pour into the places that once felt empty. It is meant to bring a stability you have never known. But you must be emotionally ready, spiritually steady, and mentally clear. That is why heaven is guiding you through this final inner preparation. Because when the blessing arrives, it will move quickly. It will unfold rapidly. It will create shifts you are meant to embrace, not fear. And the next revelation will reveal the moment where everything changes, the crossing point where manifestation becomes unavoidable and destiny becomes visible. Stay with this unfolding. You are closer than ever. Blessing ritual. Type "I prepare for my breakthrough" in the comments if this message is awakening your spirit. Blessing code 5050 has been released over you. Take one more breath. The next message will take you even deeper into your divine transition. The loved one who is standing at the edge of divine fulfillment. The air around your spirit is vibrating right now. You may feel it. A quiet pressure, a gentle awakening, an inner knowing that something is drawing nearer than ever before. This is not imagination. This is not emotional sensitivity. This is the countdown to your transition moment. The exact point in time when the blessing that has been traveling toward you crosses from the spiritual realm into the physical world. Everything up until now has been preparation. The battle, the cleansing, the marking, the alignment, the emotional release, the sharpening of your discernment. All of it has been leading toward one defining moment, the crossing point. This is a sacred moment in destiny where heaven and earth meet, where prayer becomes sight, where faith becomes evidence, where promises become reality. When Archangel Michael fought in the spirit realm last night, he did something that only archangels are permitted to do. He accelerated your timeline. In the spirit realm, blessings move along pathways. But when an angel intervenes with his sword, those pathways shorten. What would have taken you months or even years has now been compressed into a much shorter window. This is why you can feel the intensity of this moment. Your spirit is sensing the nearness of what was once far away. But before the transition becomes visible, heaven wants to make something clear. The crossing point always announces itself. It does not arrive silently. It does not approach unnoticed. It gives signs, unmistakable, undeniable signs, that your life is about to shift. And you are about to learn these signs, so when they appear, you will know exactly what is happening. The first sign is divine interruption. Your routine may suddenly feel altered. Something ordinary may feel different. A feeling of pause may rest over you. Heaven interrupts your rhythm because it is preparing to insert something new. When the crossing point nears, your spirit becomes more aware, more alert, more attentive. It is like waking up from a long sleep. Things feel clearer, sharper, more meaningful. The second sign is spiritual heaviness lifting suddenly. A weight you carried for months, maybe even years, will disappear overnight. You will wake up feeling lighter, stronger, more grounded. This is not emotional. It is spiritual. Archangel Michael removes the atmospheric heaviness that once surrounded your life so that your blessing has space to land. The third sign is divine alignment happening too quickly to be natural. Conversations fall into place effortlessly. People appear in your path at the exact right moment. Unexpected messages, invitations, or connections find you. Things that were once stuck begin moving without struggle. This is heaven rearranging your timeline, shifting everything into the correct position for manifestation. But the fourth sign is the one that confirms the crossing point is happening. The silence. Not emotional silence, not social silence, but spiritual silence. A deep internal stillness rises in you. It feels like calm, but stronger than calm. Like silence, but deeper than silence. This stillness is the moment right before manifestation. The same stillness that happens before a door swings open, before dawn breaks, before a wave touches the shore. It is heaven saying, be ready. You must understand something powerful. The crossing point is not random. Heaven chooses it. Heaven prepares it. Heaven aligns it with your destiny. And once the crossing begins, nothing can stop it. Not fear, not doubt, not delay, not past wounds, not spiritual opposition. Nothing. Archangel Michael stands at your transition point to ensure that nothing interferes with the release. He is not watching from a distance. He is standing with you. His presence is not symbolic, it is active. He is guarding your spirit, steadying your emotions, clearing your atmosphere, and guiding your next steps so that when the blessing arrives, you step into it with certainty. But now heaven wants to reveal something deeper, something essential to understand before manifestation becomes visible. When the crossing point arrives, your life will shift quickly. Blessings will unfold rapidly. Opportunities will appear suddenly. Answers will arrive unexpectedly. You must not resist this movement. You must not doubt it. You must not overthink it. When heaven moves fast, you must move with it. This is why the preparation has been intense. Heaven cannot accelerate someone who is still emotionally tied to old seasons. Heaven cannot promote someone who is spiritually anchored to old wounds. Heaven cannot release new blessings into a heart that still carries old fear. That is why the cleansing was necessary. That is why the marking was necessary. That is why the alignment was necessary. And now you are ready. What is coming toward you is not random. It is written. It is ordained. It is sealed. It is protected. This blessing carries your name, your destiny, your promise, your restoration. It is not a repeat of your past. It is the rewriting of your future. The next revelation will be the final preparation before manifestation, the last spiritual instruction heaven wants you to receive before everything changes. Stay with this unfolding, because the next words you hear will align you with the moment heaven reveals what has been hidden for so long. Blessing ritual. Type "I am ready" for my crossing in the comments if your spirit is aligned with this message. Blessing code 3133 has now been released over your path. Take a deep breath. The final light is about to break open. Beloved soul standing in the doorway of fulfillment. This is the final unfolding. The moment where every revelation, every warning, every whisper from heaven converges into clarity. You have walked through layers of truth. You have absorbed mysteries of the spirit realm. And now heaven is ready to reveal the final instruction that prepares you for what is about to manifest in your life. The air is different in this moment because you are standing at the threshold of completion. Not the end of a message, the end of a long spiritual battle. The end of delay. The end of cycles. The end of spiritual resistance. When Archangel Michael fought last night, he didn't simply push back darkness. He didn't only reopen a door. He finalized a decree over your life. In the spirit realm, decrees are not spoken lightly. They are sealed, guarded, and enforced by the highest authority of heaven. And the decree released over you was this: the door of wealth, love, and restoration shall remain open until the fullness of its promise is manifested. This decree is why you feel such unusual peace right now. It is why your spirit feels calm, yet expectant. It is why your heart feels steady, even though you sense change approaching. That peace is not human. It is the echo of heaven's certainty vibrating through your spirit. You have crossed spiritually. Now you are preparing to cross physically. But before heaven allows the physical manifestation to enter your life, it must give you the final key, the key that ensures you remain aligned, grounded, and anchored throughout the unfolding. This key is simple, yet powerful enough to shape the entire course of your destiny. Hold your identity. Identity is spiritual currency. Identity is authority. Identity is protection. Identity is the container that holds your blessing. For so long, life tried to distort your identity through heartbreak, disappointment, betrayal, lack, fear, loss, and delay. These things created cracks in your self-worth and dents in your confidence. Those cracks were not accidental. They were spiritual entry points that allowed the enemy to manipulate your perception of yourself. And perception affects alignment. Every time you doubted your worth, the blessing shifted further away. Every time you questioned your value, the door dimmed. Every time you felt unworthy of good things, the spiritual forces opposing you gained permission to interfere. But now, because of Archangel Michael's intervention, the battle over your identity has ended. You no longer need to fight for your worth. You no longer need to prove your value. Heaven has already validated you. Heaven has already chosen you. Heaven has already marked you. And heaven is now demanding that you walk in that identity boldly. The final instruction is this: do not shrink as your blessing approaches. Do not minimize yourself to fit into old spaces. Do not silence yourself to make others comfortable. Do not dim your spirit to match environments you have outgrown. The blessing coming toward you requires your full stature, your full presence, your full voice, your full confidence. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. For a blessing cannot attach itself to a shrinking spirit. It can only anchor to a soul standing in truth. As you rise into this new identity, you will notice things begin to shift rapidly. Opportunities will honor you. Relationships will respect you. Resources will flow toward you. Clarity will follow you. Even the way people speak to you will change. This is because the spiritual mark placed upon you is now being recognized by the physical world. But heaven wants you to understand one final truth. Your blessing is not coming as a trickle. It is coming as a wave. A wave that restores years. A wave that releases what was withheld. A wave that repairs what was broken. A wave that multiplies what was lost. A wave that elevates you into the life you were always meant to live. And when it begins, it will begin suddenly, unexpectedly, swiftly, undeniably. This is why the final preparation is internal. Heaven is aligning your identity so that when the blessing knocks, you answer without fear, insecurity, or hesitation. When the door of manifestation swings open, you must walk through it with the posture of someone who knows they were chosen, because you were. This is the completion of your preparation. This is the sealing of your readiness. This is the moment heaven has been leading you to. What comes next is not another warning, not another revelation, not another instruction. What comes next is manifestation. Blessing ritual. Type "I stand in my destiny" in the comments if this word has awakened your spirit. Blessing code 9990 has now been released over your life. Before the sacred moment closes, lift your voice in this mission. Like this message, share it so it reaches those who desperately need clarity. Comment boldly and subscribe so you never miss a divine word that heaven sends through this channel. You have reached the moment of sealing, where identity and destiny meet. Just as heaven has marked your life, this mission is marking countless souls with clarity, direction, and spiritual awakening. Every seed you release through Super Thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a divine act. Not a donation, but a declaration that you stand with the work God is doing here. God speaks this in the first person. When you sow into the spreading of my word, I pour back into your life in ways you cannot imagine. The theme of this message is identity, and your support becomes the prophetic sign that you walk boldly in the identity heaven has restored. Move with urgency, for obedience at the moment of alignment carries multiplied reward. To every giver, I speak blessing, open doors, and angelic acceleration. Step into this moment, rise, sow, and walk in the fullness of your destiny.